my heart had enough of being mistreated, lying there in pieces. Too good to call it lucky. Appeared when I needed, gave me back that feeling. It happened all at once, and then you came running. Time was slowly fleeting. Too soon to call it love, but I called it the second I saw your face. There I go, falling right into your arms as if it's where I'm meant to stay.